Hi, everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us on the podcast. Subha, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Subah, and if you're watching this, I don't know, you might know me, you might not, but I'm 18 years old. I'm in India. I go to school. I still go to school, and I make content, and I try to make as much money as possible so I can get out of school. That's me.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
I think the first reason that we wanted you to come on our podcast was because, like, we follow your Instagram page as well, and we see that you're inspiring a lot of people like us and like maybe possibly a younger version of you, right? And I think
Yeah,
that's something that not many other people are doing, and we're also trying to get into that, right? And I think just talking to you would give us an insight on that, and possibly anyone who's watching, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's funny.
so
Like I get a lot of DMs from guys, and they send
mm,
me like photos of their physiques, and
mm,
they used to look like so similar to how I used to look like back
yeah,
then, and it's
mm,
crazy because
yeah,
like I mean I would imagining, I would like I can imagine me like the younger version of me trying to
mm,
DM like someone, like
yeah,
bro, like how do I get fit? But now that like it's
yeah.
you, like it's pretty good feeling, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah,
we actually like Sunav and I have been like discussing this a lot. Like we're pretty close, right? We usually find people online, who who resemble our physiques from the past, or maybe what we are now, and then see how far they've come, and what they are now, and
and
then we
what
really
we
we
can
try and
be,
reflect, yeah,
yeah,
what we can be. Like we see our potential through people like you, who've done a lot with your physique. So that's
Yeah,
really
but
cool.
a lot of times it is glorified. Like I know a lot of creators, right? Who
mm,
just
Yeah.
like under good lighting, sure,
true, true,
obviously for
true,
There's
social
no
media.
transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
there's me, like sometimes I just post like rubbish photos of myself so that,
mm,
if I see someone in real life, they don't think like I'm some god or anything. Like I'm
mm,
just I'm just
yeah,
half decent size, I guess. I'm not big by any
yeah.
means.
I mean, you are, but it's great to see like you're
Relative.
also
It's
humble about
relative.
it, right? Yeah.
Humble. Humble. Yeah.
There's always bigger fish. So
Yeah. So I think the first thing we wanted to ask you, just so where we get acquainted with your story, is what is your story? Like,
well, I
where
don't.
did it all start?
In a hospital, the
Mm,
sick
mm,
times, and basically, like I was in the hospital bed, and I was like fat as fuck, and that time I didn't want any other food except for
mm.
KFC. So I'm there lying down sick, and all that's in my mind is like, okay, I want more chicken popcorn. So that's when I knew something definitely went wrong.
Wait,
So
you were sick
Yeah.
for what reason? Like, what
the
got you bedridden?
the pandemic, so I
Mm,
got the
Oh,
virus,
you mean you were
and
just. Oh, okay.
it was
That's,
yeah.
during the
yeah.
early stages, so people were like in panic, oh my god.
Right.
So yeah, I got this put me in the hospital,
Yeah.
and that's when I wanted KFC, and I knew, okay, something's wrong with me. I guess
Yeah.
that.
You know what? I see a lot of that in my brother. Actually, I have a twin brother called Arjun.
Yeah.
He's actually over the pandemic, he's gloated up a bit, and he's actually like recently we've gotten him into like getting fit, but
Yeah.
that's the exact story he went through as well, just
You
gloating
need
up
like a
everything.
wake-up call sometime with
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
other.
Exactly.
yeah,
So, like, I mean, you've come like pretty far, right, from then when you were in the hospital. So, like, what would you say are like some of the things that you learned or did, which you can, I guess, like pinpoint and say, like, these are the things that actually made a difference in your physique, and like when you started maybe researching, I don't know, like how you went about it. So I'm
I
just
yeah.
have no
curious.
idea, bro. Like
Mm,
you just do like the bare minimum. You go on the internet, you go on YouTube, you search, how to lose weight, and then you probably find Saket, right? And
mm,
then he's out there making
Saket,
all the
bro.
video for Indians, and then you watch a few of those. You're like, okay, so I have to eat less. That's what a calorie deficit is, right? And
yeah.
then you
Yeah,
start doing it, and then maybe you lose a little bit of weight, and then you start eating even less, and then it just becomes like a spiral, I guess. That's
I guess.
But
how it starts.
something people need to pick up on is that part of doing it, because a lot of people get to the point where they do the research and they understand what's going on, but they don't put in the commitment to get to that level. So how what would you say was like I know motivation is temporary, but what would you say was that factor that got you,
It's not
started?
even about commitment, right? It's about like, just firstly you need that, what's it called, like that self-awareness and that little push.
Yeah.
That one moment we're like, okay, something's wrong. So that should be like the initial enough motivation until you see some results. Once you see results, it should just be a snowball.
Yeah, because
And
progress is the best
Yeah.
motivator, right?
sometimes it is tough, right? Like those hungry nights, but that's what you just push past to actually like just lose weight sometimes, and there's no way around it.
Yeah.
100%.
People need to understand that. And I'd like to move on to our next question. After all this, you must, like, you've gone through so much, you've done so much work. What does a day in your life look like? Like through your hustle and all the work that you've been putting in, school life, academics, everything. What does a day in your life look like?
So this changes like every week, every month. My day changes because I take on a new project or I complete an old one. And right now, I'm only going to school once or twice in a week because I simply can't be bothered. So for me, I wake up. If it's not a school day, then great. I get 8 hours of sleep, and then I work. And in the afternoon, I get a little lazy, to be honest. So then I just go spend some time with like my parents. And so afternoon, I don't really get much productive work done. And then it's the evening. I go to the gym. I come back. I get some more work done, and then I just work. It's not pretty.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not
Getting
interesting.
the hustle on.
Yeah.
I
No, but
have
it's
to.
definitely worth it. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, it'll be fruitful, claiming your rewards later after putting in all this
Definitely.
hard work.
And
And
on school nights, I
yeah,
get 2 to 3 hours of sleep, and then I just drink a lot of Monster throughout. So that's how it's been
yeah.
going.
So, um,
So,
also, you're a lot, we got to you through fitness, and you're, kind of an idol in fitness. We've
Not
seen you
really.
Instagram. Well, you want to be, right? You're getting there.
Sure, why not?
And yeah, it's a goal. I want to know how fitness helped you, and what it taught you, like principles, values that you don't really, that you could apply, that's general, not only through fitness, but through everything in like your daily life, your principles that you kind of got or earned through, going through this journey of fitness.
Progressive overload applies to not just fitness. So that's one good thing. And patience, probably, because it takes a lot of time. Like you put in like a little bit of work every day, and then only after a long period of time can you actually see it. So that
Yeah.
helps with like almost everything. Like you solve one math question today, you're not going to get it right in like the exam. But let's say you do like 15 and then do that like every single day, then you'll get your grades up. So like the same analogy can be applied to a lot of things.
100%.
Yeah.
What have
And
you guys learned?
yeah, I think we
Oh,
spoke about this because this is something that like I saw in myself at least because when I also started pretty fat. And what I learned is that after a point, like you have to consistently progressively overload, right? Like you have to apply progressive overload on a very consistent basis because it's not like you can just do it once in a while. It has to consistently happen for you to see significant progress or any progress at all, right? So I think that's I completely agree with your point on progressive overload.
and
Yeah.
like it matches with the two different, there's discipline and then there's consistency, goes to go hand in hand with progressive overload as well. And it's kind of, you don't, it's applied to everything, if you're willing to study and put in the work, like consistency and discipline,
Mm,
anything actually, you could apply to anything you want to achieve in life. So fitness was like something that just changed your mindset, from a fixed to a growth mindset. kind of helped me, realize it's not only about the body, but also the mind.
I guess you're doing hard things, That's pretty much all.
100%.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. So on your Instagram page, I've seen you talking about a Discord server. Could you just tell us a little bit more about that and like what it talks about, what it is about?
So basically, I started this Discord server back in start of 2021, if I'm not wrong. And I had a lot of theme pages. I've sold a few of them. I still have a few. But back then, I was running a theme page with like 120K or something like that. And basically, I thought that it'll also be like a good way to monetize and build up additional
Yeah.
audience. So I didn't know how I was going to monetize it, but I just knew that having more of an audience is always going to be a good thing. So I started Discord server, and then basically it grew up to be something that I didn't really want to monetize anymore. And it's just like a place for people to hang out. And back then it was my goal to make it like a really big server, but now like I'm trying to focus on other things, and that's just way in the back of my head. So it's just a place for like people who live to talk. And I really wanted to make it a place where gym bros could like meet in real life, but I didn't really go through with that.
Yeah, this community is so strong with like the gym bro, everything. Everyone is so close together and so supportive. It's actually great to see them coming together,
Yeah, and
I
that also,
mean, good place.
yeah, I think that also brings me to like another thing I wanted to ask you, which is that I mean, you obviously are involved in like the social media aspect of this industry, right? And uh, I assume you know quite a bit about it as well. Uh, so I just had a question about what you think is like the effect of this of using or people using a lot of social media on like their fitness goals and their aspirations, and also like the positive and negatives of that.
Completely depends on how your feed looks. Instagram is always looking to push out, insane physiques or like ridiculous agendas. But if you just stick to your homepage and like the people you're following, it potentially can have a positive impact. Not saying that it does. 90% of cases it's just bad, right? Bad influence all over. People looking like jacked as hell, but then you meet them in real life and they're like, so it's like, depends on who you follow. So no comments on that.
Even there's that whole topic of transparency. People look up to people who've achieved a lot, but they don't show how they actually reach that level. It could be through performance enhancement drugs that people don't really talk about. So you have that notion that you're like, oh, you can reach that stage naturally. And it's social media has a lot of like a fake side to it. So people have like built false narratives. They think they can reach that level. Yeah.
You'll never know who's natural or not. Like you'll
You'll
never know. So like they can potentially not even tell their families and their best friends, right? You will never.
Yeah.
And there could be some natty people who are just like gifted, and then under like insane lighting, they just look like they're on
Obviously,
steroids, right? Yeah.
that's a thing
And
too.
yeah. So I think moving to like a different tangent. So like we were very interested in like a few things about what you're doing. Firstly, like, we spoke about fitness, right? And how I guess you're working around fitness, but you were talking about how from the Discord server you moved to other projects and you started making or focusing on making money, right? So could you just talk a little bit about your streams of income and the different ways you're earning right now?
So I can't disclose my main income stream because I think I'm onto something over there. So I want to keep it to myself until I scale it. And that might sound selfish, but I just don't want too many people getting
that's
in.
perfectly
No, we
all
get
right.
it. Yeah, we get
The
it.
other streams include theme pages, affiliate. I work like, so there's a t-shirt brand. They give me a code. I sell it on my theme pages, not my personal brand, but on my theme pages. Then shout out money, and you can also monetize Spotify playlists, which is pretty insane.
I didn't know that.
Whoa. I had no.
Basically, you get 20, 30,000 likes on a playlist, and then there's going to be small artists. They're like, okay, so place my song on the number 1 or number 2 spot of the playlist, right?
Oh,
And they pay you a certain amount each week, each month for the placement spot, and people listen to their songs, they get discovered, and win-win.
that's crazy.
Completely
Wow.
passive income. So
That's
I
crazy.
never knew that. Yeah, so passive income. How like is every stream, is it you're putting so much work, through I mean everything that you're doing. I just want to know is it, or like are you putting in a lot of work like manually, or is most of it passive, like when it
uh
comes to income?
for me, managing my employees and training people is taking most of my time. Like I feel like
Hmm.
I'm at the point where I'm getting others to work for me instead of me doing like the manual labor of it. So
Yeah.
just trying to build out my team right now and hopefully move out in the next 2 months. And then we can really scale. That's
That
my
sounds
focus.
Yeah.
that sounds really
I
cool.
wish I could give you guys more details about like the type of agency and
No, we
work I'm
get
doing.
that.
I will disclose that soon though.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't
We
worry, we
can't wait.
understand.
We actually can't wait. So, I have a question again, going back to, I mean, so where did you, so we spoke about like where you, I guess, found out that you need to change your physique, which was the KFC hospital incident. But what was it that got you to start thinking like, oh, I need to start earning as a teenager? Because I don't think there are many teenagers, forget in India, like around the world, who are thinking of that, right?
So basically, I was like 15 years old. I could hear my mom and dad, arguing probably over some financial issues. And I knew, right? Okay, so if they're arguing, so then I felt like some sort of insecurity deep inside. Like, okay, what if my parents one day like they can't support me anymore? What do I do then? So it started like selfishly, like,
Hmm.
okay, what the fuck will I do if my parents, like what if they're having issues? So then I was 15 and I started making Shopify websites for others. And I got my first person to give me like 5,000 rupees for a Shopify website at
Wow.
15.
Wow.
So that
Like,
was that was pretty good.
for you mean like did you start drop shipping, or you just
No,
created
no,
a
no. I was
Shopify?
making websites.
Okay, I see.
So I'll elaborate. I
Hmm.
wanted to drop ship, right?
Hmm.
But then, so I made my own drop shipping stores. I used them as samples because
Wow.
I couldn't really start drop shipping. I had no money.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
I used those stores that I built up as samples and actually got clients with them. Hey, look, I can build you this. Look at what I've done here. And that's how I made my first money ever.
Wow.
Wow.
That is
At
actually.
15.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what I was doing.
I
No,
mean,
but
But
clearly.
it's important to start early, and I don't think a lot of people realize. I've actually talked about this before. It's I feel like a lot of the no like a lot of people ideas about school and college and everything, they realize that they need to work hard for getting good grades or whatever, and doing well in school to get into a good college, and eventually do well there. But the whole process, everything that they're doing up until college and after college, is literally for your success after college and your career and what you're going to do to get successful afterwards, right? I feel like because you have that, you started early, like even before you went to college or anything like that, even before you went to DP or anything, you started very early, right? I feel like a lot of people don't understand that if they start early with whatever they're doing, right, it literally build like progressive overload happens over time, and you start to like build your idea on it, and you become like you naturally become successful because you spend so much time dwelling on that topic. So yeah, we
hmm.
had a talk about this yesterday, and I was like really intrigued. It's
But with
amazing.
that, you can also apply the same thing which you said to theme pages. So I was doing theme pages for a long time, and
Hmm.
basically, sort of managing those theme pages got me the remote job that I'm working right now, which is account management for this guy called Iman Gadzi. I don't know if
No
you know him.
way. No
Oh
way.
my God, we were talking about him yesterday. That's
So
insane.
that's so
You
basically like
work with him?
handling theme pages. But I'm in his content redistribution team.
Oh
So
my
I
God,
Wow.
handle a
that is
few accounts.
crazy.
That's
So the
amazing.
theme pages basically sort of, you do one thing, you do another, and then soon it all just keeps going, and then you get to another point, and then another point, and you keep building upwards if you just keep doing something.
Mm.
Or at least that's what happened
Yeah.
with me.
So I mean, talking about Iman Ghazi, did you start your first theme page the same way he started his?
No, because back then, I know that his theme page was called something. Fuck
F,
the norm. That's
yeah,
what it was called.
except it was
Um,
spelled differently.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was no U. It was just
Mm.
FCK, and that was like posts, and he actually like wrote them himself and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
But I got into theme pages when reels were just starting, so it's
Okay.
completely different.
Hmm.
And the valuation of theme pages also fell quite a bit.
Okay. Because like so many more popped out, right?
Yeah, so many more, and everyone was just doing it and
Hmm.
just cutting each other's prices.
Hmm. I
So
see.
Wow.
So that is like pretty interesting. So I mean, you clearly told us that I mean you don't really care much about school, which I genuinely understand. And
I respect.
and
Yeah.
then you are distributing a lot of your time to uh like working and earning, right? So when do you get time to gym?
I always have to make time. Like I'm
Right.
pretty sure this Saturday was the first time that I ever
I saw
forgot
that.
that I had to work out. And I was like, okay, wait, it's already 10. My gym is shut. Like
Oh
honestly, I
yeah.
might be switching to like from 5 days to 4 days of working out. It's just not that much of a
Mm.
priority for me. I need to scale my business.
So
That's like the only thing
s-
on my mind.
so speaking about that, what is your current split like if you go 5 days a week?
5 days is Arnold split. That's
Mm.
basically chest and back,
Yeah.
arms, legs, rest, chest and back, arms. I only do legs once. They're too big. I, I I don't need to do
I
legs so
wish I could
much.
say that. I wish I could say I was born skinny and I
Yeah.
hope I
When you're
can.
fat, you get big legs. That's just one thing.
And
Yeah.
okay, I actually wanna bring up a completely different perspective here. As teenagers, right? We've we've all gone through some form of anxiety, and it doesn't have to be to the extent of depression, but we've definitely felt a lot of pressure with whatever we're doing, and that's kind of relative with what like our situations. Um, I want to know how like fitness, either fitness helped you with that or may like help you realize the reality of it, and you dealt with it, not only like whatever you're doing, through your hustles and your fitness, how that kind of helped you deal with anxiety.
Anxiety was more of like confidence. You gain confidence, and then like you're the baddest person in the room. Like, what the fuck is anyone gonna do, right? That's more to do with if you build out your physique, you get big, then you feel like, okay, I'm untouchable. That's one way to help with anxiety, not the best. Then the other way is actually meditating and just trying to like be more aware of your surroundings so that you're less anxious, and
Mm.
yeah, just these things. And another thing is that like I'm not sure if like a person our age and who's been like taken care of by their family, nothing's really wrong with their life, I don't think they can be depressed. That's just called complacency.
I agree. I
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I would definitely have heard that a lot, and I've been lean to agree with that. It's like, yeah, I think there's a lot of there's an argument actually today that people are trying to fit in with other communities just to be accepted, and part of a group.
So many
um
girls turned like lesbian because of that shit. I
yeah,
I
it's
know, I
just
just know.
just to feel that way.
Uh,
But yeah.
Yeah.
um
yeah.
that's
And
Everyone wants to fit
that's
in.
amazing.
mm, I want to go on another side tangent. We've already gone on two, but I'm just like curious because you talk about so many things on your Instagram page. Uh, what habits are you trying to develop to like increase testosterone? Because I saw like on one of your stories you were like talking about that, right?
It's kind of fucked because I don't have any symptoms of low testosterone.
Mm.
Like I don't feel it. I was really shocked at the results. I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be like 700 nanograms per deciliter, but no, it comes out to be like I don't know, 300,
3-7,
barely
yeah.
300. And I'm like,
Do you think
what?
a reason for that is just like our age? Because I mean, we
Sleep,
are
sleep and stress, probably.
mm, and our age,
I don't
right?
know.
Because we're like, doesn't it
Mhm.
peak later on?
Peaks at 18.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
Pretty sure.
wow.
Or someone's gonna get a clip out of this. Look, this guy doesn't know me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 18, but you
Okay,
can fact
I
check
know
that. I think it's
it's in
18.
like the young adults age, right? So that's for
Wait, you
sure.
know what? I'll just Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
But that's crazy because if sleep can have that big of an effect on
18.
18,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Sleep
So
can have a big effect, and school does not help.
Yeah. Yes,
no,
wait,
but
sleep was the the affecting factor of this thing of
mm,
low test.
mm,
Probably because
That's
that week I went to school not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. That's insane.
wow.
That's insane for
Wait,
me.
I'm just curious. Like, this is not even like a part. I'm just curious, like, from my own knowledge, what do you do in school if you go like once a week? Do you just go there
I
to
just
chill?
go
yeah.
there, I show my face,
Yeah.
I talk to like the 3 people I talk to, and
Huh.
then tell the teachers what's up, and I leave.
That's,
What am I supposed to do?
yeah,
No,
what are you supposed
I
to do?
respect that. I mean, like that whole you've skipped that whole middle part because you already gained the knowledge, that you could get through that, and the networking is gonna come with your
What
whole
network?
scheme.
Yeah, the networking should come with like generally, like if you're successful,
Yeah.
hopefully you find more successful people. In school, there's nothing to network for. There's nobody I value. Like
Mm.
straight up.
Yeah, no, but I heard
So,
like I don't know if this is true, but in college you make the most valuable friends, maybe like people who understand what you're feeling because you're at that age and you meet like a similar group of people. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's I've seen it through my parents and things like that. You meet your most valuable friends in college, and that's where networking starts. I genuinely believe that, and that's one huge reason why I want to go to college actually. Not
I
more than
don't,
the
for me, I don't need friends. I need like-minded people, and I won't find them in college. So that's that.
I
yeah. I
respect that.
mean, fair,
No,
It's
like,
fair.
like,
genuinely, because
and
I
how
mean,
much are you paying to network? Instead of that, why don't you go by like some
Exactly, exactly,
and
rich
exactly. Yeah.
person club membership, and you'll find the same people?
if you're already in a
Yeah.
network where you're, I mean, in an indirect contact with like people like Iman Ghazi, right? Then, I mean, isn't that what you're aiming for, anyways?
I mean, sure, but I don't idolize him, and I'm not
Hmm.
like ever going
Sure.
to like ask him for a favor unless I really have to. So
No, I'm sure. I'm just saying, like, it gets you. I mean, just knowing people are like-minded, that they are also
yeah,
seeking the
yeah.
same things that he's suggesting, right? You can build a network from there, right? That's
People in Grow Your Agency, like I like them generally. I feel like there is a certain level that we think alike, and since we all have watched a lot of Iman, like our mindset has been tuned in a certain way. So it's always good to be around such people.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Another
But
thing, I think, possibly our last question, unless Aryan wants anything else and you want to say anything else, is what is your vision with all of this? Like, where do you see yourself? I mean, it's a very cliche question, but where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years with the same hustles, the same mindset? Yeah.
so the way it is now, I hope to have like a lot of businesses. Like I want to do everything. And also YouTube is definitely going to be on my to-do list, and I'm
Yeah.
going to treat it like a task. Like I know that 1 year from now I'll be at 100K like easily, and it's just a matter of time and execution, because working for Iman has also taught me like how to grow YouTube channels.
Hmm.
Like I handled one of his YouTube accounts, not his main one, and like I can see the process in which it's growing, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I can easily apply the same thing to me. And there's no contest. There's nobody competing against me in India. Like I have not seen anyone. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty simple. I can
That's
just
Wow.
target the Indian niche, and that's pretty much all I have to do.
hmm.
Yeah, you figure out your audience, and now you're just there you can you only have upwards now. Like you're just gonna grow from
I
here.
hope. I don't know.
So when
But
can we
you have
see
to
the
believe in
YouTube
yourself.
channel?
I put out a few videos like a few months back where they were like bad, and I don't know. It's gonna take a bit of time, like the transition into
Yeah.
YouTube and actually getting good at making YouTube videos. It's very different to actually making reels, like very different. So
Yeah, for
it'll
sure.
take some time. I hope to have like a studio setup and and not this, but
Yeah.
soon enough, I
Yeah,
believe that.
soon enough.
If school wasn't them, I would be on it like right now. But IB year 2 is I need to
Yeah.
pass, you feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, one last thing just on that topic, right? I want to know, like, because our consumer base and people nowadays, like the audience have kind of grown into like having less attention spans, and so like YouTube videos have kind of become a secondary source of entertainment, when there's like things like reels that have like 6-second
Or
videos
even
that kind of,
shorts.
yeah, shorts, exactly. So is your kind of what you're planning to do more short term, or like is it long 20-minute videos? What kind of what do you plan to do?
Shorts are amazing because my entire business is on that, right? I
Yeah,
can't criticize it. I love it. Thank the Lord who made shorts. But
lucrative and less time to make.
yeah, but full-blown YouTube videos are where it's at. People get to know you. That's where real value
100%.
is. And shorts can be a way to like repurpose content and then funnel people into the main YouTube videos, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes a
And
lot of
my
sense.
initial strategy on my current page was just to build up people with similar mindsets. And I think I've done that by now. End of this year, I should easily be at like 10K. And then hopefully like it keeps building my Instagram. And once I start YouTube, that's just going to be like a different tangent. And
Yeah.
then they both intersect somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I mean,
That's the goal.
yeah. We can't wait to see it, man. Like, genuinely,
Yeah.
like even just I guess like this half an hour of talking has actually inspired me quite a bit, and I genuinely feel like you're doing bits like as compared to like
Yeah,
18-year-olds that we know.
I don't know, man.
It's
I don't know
crazy.
many, so
Trust me,
yeah.
trust.
no, you're definitely teaching people for sure. And my brother
Yeah.
is one of them. Just and a real life example. But
Yeah.
that's
Well,
amazing.
I'm grateful to be in this position, and I just hope things go the way they are.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you, man. Thank you for coming
Thank
on
you
our
guys
podcast.
Thanks for joining us, man. That's
Thanks for having me.
amazing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you